Mr. Papademos, thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be our guest speaker at our School of International Relations.
Let me say thank you for inviting me, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here.
Thank you very much. You have served as Prime Minister of Greece, Vice President of the European Central Bank, and as Governor of the Bank of Greece, among many other appointments. What is the role of the European Central Bank in resolving the crisis in the euro area, especially as the social crisis deepens? Do you believe that the European Central Bank must or can be a champion of real economic change?
Well, let me first say that the role of the ECB, as well as of any central bank, is defined by its statute, by its mandate, and also by the policy instruments it has at its disposal for achieving its objectives. So what the ECB should do, or what it can and cannot do, is really stemming from the legal framework, the responsibilities and the powers it has been assigned, and its capacity to use appropriate tools to achieve the objectives. And this defines really the role. So responding to the last part of the question, whether the ECB can play a role as a leader in inducing economic change, I don't think this is in line with its mandate and its capacity to achieve certain objectives. Now, more specifically, during the past 3 years and before that, the ECB took many and bold actions in order to contribute to the resolution of the crisis, both the global financial crisis and more recently the euro area crisis. Since the fall of 2008, it implemented a very accommodative monetary policy, but it also took many unconventional policy measures in order to preserve price stability, safeguard financial stability through a variety of means. And essentially, it aimed to improve the functioning of financial markets that had been impaired by the crisis, to ensure that monetary policy is transmitted across the euro area efficiently, and that credit that had been impaired by the deleveraging process of banks would be provided to the private sector. So all in all, it prevented deflation risks from materializing. It prevented the meltdown of the financial system, and through its various actions, it also supported economic activity and employment, and therefore indirectly had also positive effects on the society.
Thank you. Will the establishment of the European Banking Union achieve its objectives, in your view? Will this work, and what should the European Central Bank role be?
Well, the establishment of the Banking Union is a very important step in order to address the fragmentation of financial markets that we're observing in the euro area today, and in order to support sustain economic growth. I think there is broad agreement about the merits and the need for a banking union. As European leaders have said, and many and I agree, of course, the establishment of the banking union will help break the adverse feedback between financial markets, sovereign bond markets, the banking system, and the real economy. So its significance cannot be underestimated. Although there are, however, there is broad agreement about the merits of banking union, there are some differences concerning the timing and the sequencing and certain features of the banking union. Now, as you know, in December 2012, an important decision was made to establish the single supervisory mechanism. But the banking union also includes a resolution mechanism and a resolution authority, as well as safety nets with sufficient fiscal backstops. And by safety nets, I mean fundamentally deposit insurance schemes, a common deposit insurance scheme. Now, in my view, in order for the banking union to work and achieve the desired objectives that I mentioned at the beginning, it's important to implement all its components. Therefore, I think it's essential not only that by the earlier 2014 that the single supervisory mechanism will be operational, but also firm and systematic progress is being made in establishing the resolution mechanism and authority. And as you know, there are some concerns about this, reflecting either concerns about the burden sharing of potential resolution losses, the complexity of the project, as well as certain concerns relating to the possible requirement that the treaty change is needed in order to implement that component. So all in all, I'm optimistic that it will play an important role both in resolving the crisis and supporting economic growth, but we have to make sure that we establish a fully fledged and true banking union.
Let's hope for that.
It will take some time, however. It will take some time. It's a complex undertaking, and for this reason I think it's also essential that other additional measures are taken in the shorter term in order to foster economic recovery and support economic growth.
My last question would be on your view about the possibility of a Greek exit from the euro area. Do you think it still be a leading concern?
Well, I have always believed and stated that the Greek exit from the euro was not a real policy option, both because politically and economically it's not desirable. It would make harder addressing the country's economic problems rather than easier. But also, and I would say fundamentally, because the large majority of the Greek people are in favor of the euro and against an exit from the euro. Now, in 2011 and in 2012, political uncertainty and also concerns that the country might not be able to address its problems effectively led to speculation of such an outcome. But since the middle of 2012, and following the decisions that were taken, first of all in the spring, on a new economic adjustment program, following the restructuring of the public debt, following the elections in the summer, and the full commitment of the new government to implement the second economic program after it was amended and recalibrated, I think the sustainability of public finances is ensured, given the assumptions at this point of time. Also, the economic program is implemented efficiently and is on track. And for all these reasons, I believe that at present, what I would call the tail risk, the small probability of a Greek exit from the euro, has effectively been eliminated.
So, Papademos, thank you very much for your insights. I hope to see you very soon back at IE.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I've said, it was a pleasure to be with you here.
Thank you very much.